Howdy folks, Brother Briar here. Man, it's been a long time since I've seen you guys. Since you've seen me probably too. Unless you're watching my videos over and over again, which I seriously doubt. I'm not that egotistical to think. It's been good. Just sitting down here having a smoke, and just want to stop in and say hello. So hello. Before I forget, I also want to give a shout out to my good friend Jared. He goes by the Pipe Presenter as Maximus Pipe. He just started a new channel, MAXIMUSPIPE. I'll try to, if I can remember, to put a link to his channel down in the description. But stop over and say hello to him and subscribe. Very cool guy, very relatable. I think you'll enjoy checking out his videos. Anyway, I'm smoking some Pembroke. This was given to me by Brother Boontar. Too many brothers in this community. I'm just kidding. But anyway, he gave that to me as a raffle giveaway at our last pipe meeting, pipe gathering for the Cincinnati Pipe Club. And I'm enjoying it very much. It's an English blend. I don't know if you were able to read the label there, but it's very good. So thanks there, Brother Boontar. Joe, good man for giving away this. Appreciate it. I'm enjoying it a lot. I used the pipe, or the lighter that you gave us as a giveaway at our first meeting to light it up there. So thank you. Very generous. Just want to move on, I guess. I've got a couple things I want to talk about for today's upload, and I've got kind of a long story, but I'm going to try to keep it short. Don't tune out yet. It has to do with pipe smoking and insurance. Before I get into my beef with it, I want to back up and tell you a little story about what happened to me in the not too distant past, or anyway, it happened recently. I started a new job about 6 months ago, and I went through the process of, getting all the benefits and my insurance settled, and I got it settled for 2012. I joined in September, so I was good with 2012. But it was at about the same time that I came on board they were doing the open enrollment for 2013, and we were switching companies, switching insurance plans from Humana to Anthem. And our HR guy sat on my paperwork until it was too late after my new hire to enroll in 2013. Fortunately for my sake, they default to employee-only plans, but they didn't include my wife. So I'm now having to fight with them to get my wife on board because she was going to utilize my insurance, not hers, where she works. Anyway, that's a whole nother story, and I'm really frustrated with our now former HR guy. He quit. There was a whole lot of issues going on with him, apparently. Job-wise, professionally, he was not on the ball. But, to make a long story short, I got a call about a month ago. I didn't really think anything of it. I did think it was weird that they called me, but got a call about 7 or 8 o'clock at night from corporate, and they were asking me, am I a smoker? And I was like, this is odd. This is an odd time to be asking me this, but I answered them, no, I'm not a smoker. So they asked, well, so you haven't had a cigar or a pipe or anything in the last 18 months? And I was like, well, I occasionally have a cigar or have a pipe, but I wouldn't classify myself as a smoker. And they're like, oh, okay. I was like, why, is that a problem? They're like, oh no, we're just trying to find out. So they wrote it off, and I didn't really think anything of it. Well, my wife went to the doctor recently and came back and told me, hey, what's going on with our insurance? Because they told me they tried to find me and on your plan, and they couldn't. And I was like, what? This is weird. So I went and I talked to our HR people. They sat on it. They didn't file my insurance for 2013. And so that's what was happening when they called me, when corporate called me a month ago asking me whether or not I was a smoker. They were trying to default me into a plan and trying to figure out what rate to charge me. So I'm not going to go into the whole thing with my wife. Like I say, that's another story. But what I do have beef with as far as a smoker, I would not classify myself as a smoker. And it frustrates me almost to no end that they're going to charge me $12 more. They're going to cut out $12 more out of my paycheck with each paycheck, and I get paid twice a month on average. Occasionally I get paid 3 times a month. And that amounts to about $300 more that I'm going to be charged just because I occasionally smoke a pipe. I'm very frustrated with this, as you can already tell, and I've already said. And I'm not going to lie about it. Some of you might be thinking, just tell them you don't smoke. I mean, because you're not really a smoker by definition. I mean, you're not addicted, you're not inhaling, and a lot of doctors would probably say the same thing. But the policy that our company has states differently, and they state that if you've had any tobacco use within the last 18 months, they classify that as a smoker. So I'm going to have to bite the bullet and say that I am, for the sake of not lying and for the sake of my own integrity. But it does frustrate me, and I'm just curious if you guys have ever run into that and how you handled that. So another thing is I'm looking at life insurance here, and that's one thing that I haven't signed on yet with any. I haven't gotten life insurance yet, but I'm looking into different companies and providers to see, to compare rates and stuff. But if any of you have already purchased life insurance and have a policy, have you disclosed that you are a pipe smoker, and how did they handle that? Did they charge you a different rate as a pipe smoker versus a cigarette smoker, or is it all classified under the same category of a smoker? Because personally, I'd rather not have to pay an extra, like I say, $12 a month just because I occasionally have a pipe or occasionally have a cigar. So, how did you handle that? Did you experience, with life insurance specifically, did you experience a much higher rate than if you said you didn't smoke anything? Anyway, I'm done with that. I'm going to move on to the next segment because I'm already at 8 minutes here. That's my proverb for the day. Today, since it's March 9th, I'm going to be reading out of Proverbs chapter 9. And the verses that kind of stuck out to me are verses 7 through 9. And it says, "Whoever corrects a mocker invites insult. Whoever rebukes a wicked man incurs abuse. Do not rebuke a mocker, or he will hate you. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love you. Instruct a wise man, and he will be wiser still. Teach a righteous man, and he will add to his learning." So the verses here are saying, don't try to correct those that are arrogant enough to think that they know it all, because you're just going to be hurled insults at. You're not going to change them. All you're going to be doing is inviting them to make fun of you or whatever. But if you see somebody who is teachable and you see them doing something wrong, or if you can help them in some way by instructing them, by all means do it. That doesn't mean that you should just be someone that's looking to tell people what they're doing is wrong. But still, it's just saying be careful who you try to correct. But as I read that, I want to ask myself, what kind of person am I? Am I teachable? Am I coachable? Or am I the kind of person who's set in his ways and is not going to listen to what other people have to say? I think it's difficult for anybody to have someone come alongside you and say, hey, you're not doing very good at this, or you're doing this wrong, or you shouldn't be doing that. I think we all kind of get a little on the defensive at first, but are you able to take it with a grain of salt and chew on it a little bit, think about it, and then make a decision based on that after you've really kind of evaluated yourself? I'm challenging myself to be more that way because I don't want to be 10 years down the road from now and not be growing, not be stretching myself or challenging myself. So as I challenge myself with that, I also just want to throw that back to you and challenge you guys as well to ask yourself, am I coachable or am I set in my ways? Am I not going to change? That's all I got for you. It's been good being with you today and sitting down, having a pipe, as expensive as it might be for me now. But I'll leave you guys with that. Take care. God bless, and we'll see you next time.